Hi there, Sean, and all the rest of you good people out there. I hope that you're all safe and sound and that health is with you. Regarding your question on easy duplicate similar expression formula that will have different values for different sketches. To me, this boils down to that you want to vary something along an axis direction or a curve direction. And that leads me to variational sweep. So just to start this off, I will demonstrate the variational sweep or Vsweep. For right-hand click on my sketch there, I get immediate access to Vsweep as it's a sketch created along a curve here in the Y direction. Happens to be a line, could be a curve. And what I can do here, I can add a section there. I'm going to add it somewhere, let's say there, just for to kind of create something here. We say 90. It's going to grow there for some reason. And over here, it's going to reduce to, let's say, 40. And I could preview this. I could analyze it before creation, etc. But I'm just going to let it run and create that. And it's going to create something. Could be a wing. And I have varied this with parameters along the guide. So if I want to edit that, those cross sections are still there and I can still edit them any way I like just by selecting them in the variational sweep. Now, that would be one way of creating that type of geometry. I'm not sure if that's what you're after. But it seems like you're after creating several similar sections along a curve or direction. So if we take a look at that cross section there again, at Y0, we can see that we get a whole bunch of expressions here with values to them. And we will reuse those, of course. So we say finish first to that. And we're going to organize our expressions a bit. You can see that I only have my expressions describing the sketch there. So on the default group, I say create new. And I say create a group. I'm going to call it Y0 because it's going to be the section in Y0. And then I'm going to grab all these guys. Actually, and I'm going to drag them and I'm going to drop them on Y0. That means I can now filter on them in my expression editor. We kind of compress the Y0 and we say OK to that. And we say, hey, we want several of these, but we want them with individual but similar expressions that I want to modify slightly. So I say file export. I'm going to export a part. I'm going to specify part in the rear wing upper flap. I'm going to call it just temp because I'm going to just temporarily use that. And I'm going to do a class selection, say that I want that sketch there. And I say OK to that, and I'm going to be happy with that. That means I have now created a separate part here with only the cross-section in it. I'm not going to import that back into this part. So I'm going to say File, Import Part. And I'm going to import that part that I just created there. Rear wing. We say OK to that. And I'm just going to drop it in there. I'm going to fix that later. I can import it several times. So I'm just going to import it 2 times here, let's say. So firstly, we can see that everything that was associated with the sketch is also dragged in. And I will hence reassociate. So I will reattach this sketch with the original curve that it was originally attached to. And I'm going to move it a little bit, let's say in there. There we go. I'm going to do the same change I did before. I'm going to say, let's say here now, we said 90 before, so it's going to be 90. And we say finish to that. And we now have two sketches in here that we can drive surfaces through, should we like. I can import the last one there as well. But before I do that, I'm going to actually, since I now have reattached this sketch to that curve, I can now delete the stuff that is in front of it, and that sketch will still remain. So I will do that again. I will do File, Import, Part. I will reuse the same sketch I had. I'm going to use the temp, and I'm going to say OK, and I'm just going to drop it in there. So that would be the sketch. I will edit it. I will reattach it. And I will reattach it to the composite curve up there. And I'm actually going to drag it to 100%. And I'm going to say OK. And we said that this guy was 40. So we got the same conditions we have with the other one there as well. And since I reattached it, I am no longer in need of these guys. So I now have all these sketches residing on top of the composite curve. If we look at the expression editor, we can see that we got our Y0 here. And we got some... we can see what happened when we imported. And I've done this one time before. So you can see that it says... If we take this one, we have the first parameter, which would be A1, which is the angle of the wing. So it means that we have two A1s here. We actually have three, including the original one. But you can see that it's add a prim 3 and a prim 4. And we can see that we have a prim 3 and prim 4 on the other ones as well. So that is good. Now we can... if we like to, if we for some reason in the expression editor need to separate them, don't think we really need to here, but if we do, let's say we had one, I don't remember what I put it to, we're going to name that to Y, let's say 100, and Y100 is created there. That's going to be my 3 prim ones, so I'm going to select all the ones with prim 3 on them. There we go. And I'm going to drag those guys and drop them on Y100. So we now have Y100, we have Y0, and we're going to create another one, which is, I could maybe call that at kind of percentage if I liked as well. So let's call that Y. I don't know how wide the wing was, so I'm just gonna name it something. We grab all these and we're gonna drag them and drop them on the Y500 there. So there we go. We now have organized by grouping the values here, if you like, and I can edit them from the expression editor should I like. Personally, I would think that this would be done from the graphical window, meaning that either you edit the sketch itself by double clicking it and end up in the task environment for the sketch, or we do finish, and if that's not what I want, I could do edit parameters, and I could quickly just edit something here. Let's say wing. It's going to be a little bit smaller. There we go. And we can say on this guy, ooh, I really did it on this. It was way too big. So let's say the wing width there, 90. Let's go back to, well, let's say 70. There we go. And I think that's the way I would do it. I'm not quite sure why I would use the parameters in the parameter table. but that might be just what you're after, and then we will have to look for something else. However, this is probably what I would do, and I just wanted to show that to you, so maybe you have an idea of what to do. Well, that's all for me for now, so over and out from Fred, and hope this takes you further in your endeavors, Sean. And with that, I'm going to leave you for tonight, so I hope that you all will stay safe and sound out there, and above all, stay healthy, all the good people. Over and out from Fred. Bye for now.